What? Hey people! I'm here with my friend Carl trying to find the topic of today's video, which is bee movie game for the PS2. I've always wanted to talk about bees. They're my top 26 letters of the alphabet. And they're voiced by that guy from Seinfeld. I think his name's Kramer. Now you see, this is the only place on Craigslist that had it though, so I decided to break in and steal it. You know, for content. Now, beehives are very fragile, so you gotta act fast. Aha! Well, that didn't work as planned, but I still want to talk about a bee game. It makes me wonder if the only bee-related game we have is Bee Swarm Simulator Hospital has any bee games. Wait. There's something on that wall. Oh. For the uneducated. What are you doing here? Bee Swarm Simulator is a Roblox game created on March 21st, 2018 by Pearson Harbut, or more commonly known as On It. The game revolves around you, or the player, as you collect a wide assortment of bees to scale up the mountain. Your main objective is to collect pollen from the flower fields that you'll find as you progress in the game and convert it to honey using your little silly bee guys. This honey can be used to buy better pollen collecting materials, usually referred to as gear or more bee eggs. Bees and eggs? Man, this game's so unrealistic. A bee movie game would never do this. Bees can also be used to fight against the inferior bug races, to get things like honey, tickets, and that. The bees indicate how far you've progressed in the game, as they are the square-shaped keys needed to get up the assortment of squares we call the mountain, as most of it is locked by gates. There are 7 zones, being the 5B zone, the 10B zone, the 15B zone, the 20B zone, the 25B zone, the 30B zone, and finally, the 35B zone. During your professional journey to go up the big rock, you will find a wide assortment of bears. Some are black, some are white, and some are black and white. Whoa! These bears will give you quests, which give you honey and more valuable resources like tickets, which can be used to buy exclusive bees, and royal jelly, which can transform your bees into other types of bees, which is just gambling. Bee gambling. I be not support this. So you may be seeing all this and wonder, okay, so like, what's the issue here? This looks fun! You get to have a charming, simple experience with cute bees and bears. The idea of scaling a mountain is unique, and building an army of bees to decimate inferior bugs sounds fun! And you know what? It is.
So, what's this entire video about? I am getting to it!
Doctor, seize this man! So, you want to know what happens after you get to the top of that mountain? You get more things to buy in this Ace shop at the 20B zone to get... Yeah, you gotta do more grinding now. These things are materials. Ugh. They can come in multiple shapes and sizes, but usually how you craft them is about the same. The main materials you'll be using are blueberries, commonly found in blue fields, strawberries, commonly found in red fields, sunflower seeds, found in the sunflower field, and the pineapples are found in the, I don't know. These assortment of edible colors are used to craft an assortment of liquids, drugs, and also an unfunny joke. Resources will be completely fine to get if it wasn't for the stupidly high amount of said materials you need. For example, one of the first things you can get after getting the top mountain gear is the honey mask. To buy it, you'll need 10 million honey, which isn't that bad, really, honestly. 5 golden eggs, which are a rare resource to come upon, and the only reliable way to get them are at the shop for tickets, which is another rare resource that you have to find by grinding. You also need 9,999 treats, which you can just buy at a shop for honey, 50 oil, and 25 enzymes. What? So, speaking about crazy cost, how much is this hospital visit going to cost me?
1 billion Robux.
There's no place to simply buy a resource, so you gotta go and grind it for yourself. This means that the 50 oils, who needs that many oils? You need to get 2,500 sunflower seeds and some royal jelly, which is used in all recipes, and which, you know, there's a place right beside the Ace shop where you can buy for honey. Luckily, you will have a lot of honey, because finding 2,500 sunflower seeds takes a while. And on top of that, you'll have to also grind for 1,250 pineapples. And 5 golden eggs, which either means grinding quests just for one of them, or buying them for 500 tickets. Boop. Doctor! Punch this wall for me! Thanks. And guess what? It gets worse. Some crafting materials require non-edible resources like gumdrops. I am not eating that. And magic beans, which can only be found by luck or buying them with tickets, which take a long time to get. And to be honest, don't use those tickets until you get all of the bees you can buy off tickets. Besides the dog, don't buy the dog. Tickets are so rare that grinding them for 12 hours will only get you 100. That's just splendid. And then there's stingers, which only have a chance to be found during a day-night cycle, which means you have to wait 10 to 30 minutes just for a slim chance of them showing up through a boss fight. Yes, you heard me right, a boss fight. To get stingers, you have to look for a small stinger on the ground and touch it, and avoid all of the red circles on the ground. And if you don't try trying, you'll get 6 stingers. And may I remind you, there's also a daily bonus, which means, oh, you just want to grind all of these? Just wait 10 to 30 minutes to get about 5, 6 stingers? No! Because that's a daily bonus. You want to keep doing it over and over again. Have fun and get like 3 to like possibly 5 stingers each time. Yeah, have fun doing that for stinking gosh knows how long. And that's not the only thing you have to wait for if you think you just keep killing the inferior species. For resources, you can't, because they also have a cooldown, with some lasting hours before they return. Even crafting takes multiple in-game hours to complete, which means that you cannot even leave the game and just patiently wait for them to be done. No, you have to keep grinding and wait for the grinding to stop so you can put more grinding materials in there so you can start grinding again. This is insane, even more than me. And the doctor even gave me a note saying that I was. Gotta get my insanity up. I gotta beat that. As you progress in the game, there's just about no way to easily get more resources unless you pay money. There isn't even a super you get more resources if you use this spoon, or a super awesome you get more resources if you use this bead. No, you just gotta keep grinding more and more. And then even certain crafting materials change into more rare resources that require lots of materials to craft, which means that you have to grind for a resource, so you can grind for another resource, so you can grind for an item, so you can grind for a gear.
So is there like a simple way not to grind?
How do you get back in here?
This rope and brick? I did not hear that crashing through the window.
I thought it was a bear attack in the other room.
So, can you skip the grind or not?
Yes, you can. Through
macros!
Wow, what a guy. He reads minds and throws people out the window. Oh yeah, macros. What are macros, you may be asking? What are macros? Macros quite literally play the game for you. Nitro macro is the most common macro people use in Beestorm Simulator because it's easy to understand UI and it's just simply the most popular. Before I get into this segment, I want to clarify that there shouldn't be any hate towards people who make macros. I respect what they're doing, and even I use a macro. It's just simply the best way to progress in the game. I just hate what it stands for, and it's just necessary to begin with. With all that said, yeah, these things make me sad. Basically, macros just play the game for you. You can set to grind any field, destroy the inferior bugs, and even do certain quests for you. You can also get resources through dispensers, which doesn't help much, as most of them have a long cooldown. But hey, at least it's something, because of the absolutely ludicrous grind that this game offers. Most players, after getting to the top of the mountain, use it to get what they need to craft other gear. The main issue with this is, well, number one, this game requires over 24 hours of grinding just to get one item. And number two, what's there to gain from this? There's no feeling of success from all this. All you do is just press a button so something else can do the work for you. What's the point of playing a game if you're just letting a computer play the game for you? If you're just gonna let a machine play the game for you just so you can get more gear, just for you to put on the macro again to do the same thing, then what's the point? All you're gaining from this is just the inability to play any other Roblox game while doing this. And just for some virtual gear that can only help your macro do things slightly better. It wouldn't be much of an issue if this just felt like an optional thing to do, but no, not really. The amount of resources you get are so small that you either have to put on a macro for 12 hours straight or do it yourself for 12 hours. Every single gear you need takes about a week of macroing to get, well, at least in my experience. So imagine having to do that yourself, and at that point, you're just wasting time. So basically, this game gives you two options. Waste all your free time mindlessly clicking a button or letting a robot do the work for you. I mean, maybe you'll be fine if Onnit knew about these issues and is actually trying to stop it, but no! He knows, because he made... No! You can't make me talk about those things. I'm not doing it. I told my mother today that I won't talk about Roblox developers adding RNG to their games just for the sole purpose of having a trade economy so the game makers can have money. You can't make me talk about this, but I can talk about how much Onnit knows about all these issues and is actively wants you to use macros to spend as much money and much time in his game. Yes, you heard me right. He knows! For a bit of context, one of the main ways Roblox pays their developers is something called premium payout. Premium payout usually gives the developers more money the more time premium players spend in their game. With macros, Onnit has figuratively and literally found the gold mine. Having kids set up their computers that can grind for 24 hours straight great. It's basically a real-life infinite money glitch. And on it gives people like that power for things like the wealth clock, which gives you a boost every in-game hour you spend in the game, and boosts, which have time limits that doesn't stop when you leave the game, causing players to have a sense of urgency when they use one. If you take off the sweet, homemade charm of this game, it's just a bland game which has a terrible grind attached to it. If you want to play games where you control little guys to destroy inferior creatures, just play Pikmin.
Bro, why do you care so much?
How'd you get in here for the third time?
I ignored the laws of physics and just phased into the room. Genuinely, man, you care more about this Roblox game than I do sitting in this chair. What's the big idea?
You want to know why? Do you? Because I was there since the start. Bee Swarm Simulator wasn't always like this. I started to play the game back when it first released, back when there was the bee for sale and the hive still sparkled. The game was simple and innovative for its time, as it was a simulator game that was actually enjoyable. The game was fairly straightforward, there was no crafting, no piece of sneaky paper with drawings on them, and no macros. The grind was simple, challenges felt rewarding, and the games were brimming with personality. The only rare item there was were just royal jellies, which were only there to transform bees into better bees. Even then, those were handed out at a fairly consistent rate. Updates were fairly consistent. What they brought to the table was new and creative. They added gumdrops as a fun way to boost some honey making, and the colors make my brain happy. Bee levels, gifted bees, and treats were also a great way to add to the game, giving bees more of a presence in the game. There are also new quests given to players already made it to the top of the mountain, like on its star journey. The reason why I'm mentioning all this, I love this game. It's hard watching one of the only unique simulators on Roblox turn to another generic auto-clicker game, with just a few more steps. I hope that one day this game will get better and become one of the Roblox greats once more, even if I doubt it.
So, you're saying that you don't believe that it'll happen?
Carl! How weren't you injured from the bee incident?
I wore my anti-bee sting pin.
Why didn't you bring me one?
I don't know. Thought it'd be funny watching you get stung for a bee movie game for the PS2.
Doctor! Oh, by the way, for you guys, thanks for watching the video, and I hope you know your love. Alright, this may sting.